As we get started with our one-page career summary infographic, we're going to go to Google Slides first, and we're going to start with a blank presentation. And from there, we are going to change our page setup. So we're going to go to File, Page Setup, and we're going to do a custom setup. So this is going to mimic a full sheet of paper. So we're going to go 8.5 by 11 inches and hit Apply. And now it would mirror a regular sheet of paper that we would print from the printer. What I like to do when I first get started is I like to delete any content that's already in the slide. So I'm going to click, drag, and then hit the delete key on my keyboard. And then remember, you can use up to 4 colors on this. So I mentioned you could do title color, different section color, background color, and text color. So I'm going to start, if you want to change your background, you just right click and you go to change background. And you can do a gradient fill, you can do a solid fill, completely up to you. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and do a gradient fill right there, hit done. And then you saw in mine, I had a lot of different sections. And I just did that by inserting different shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and do a rectangle, maybe all the way across the top this time. Try to keep similar spacing on each side. I just kind of eyeball it most of the time, but then I'll align everything else to that. All right, I'm not going to mess with my fill colors right now. But maybe what I do want to do is I want to copy this, and I'm going to do a vertical version of it. So now I'm going to right click and paste. And I can rotate by using the circle that's right up above. And let's see if I have enough space down here or not. I do not. So I'm going to go and shrink this part down. There we go. So I've got 2 sections. And maybe I want to go ahead and insert a narrow section right here. I'll insert a wider section. And then let's see if I can copy this and mimic it right down here. See if that fits in there. It does. All right. So quick way, I love to copy and paste, but I also want to make sure my alignment's got a key. So I'm going to align this guy to the bottom of this shape, align this one to the top. And then, all right, those are aligned in the center of those 2. I'm just going to try to look for some sort of equal spacing here. That looks pretty good. You can always use your, if you have arrow keys. I'm not sure if you guys have arrow keys on your Chromebooks, but if you're on the desktops, you certainly do. And that looks a little bit more uniform. All right, so I've got a few different sections there. I've got space for a title. For my title, I'm just going to use word art. I can manipulate that a lot more than just text. So I'm just going to type in the word career, hit enter. Here's my format options. If you want to format anything, just make sure it's selected, and you'll have some options. So here, my word art, I'm going to format that. Maybe I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to go up here to my fill color. Let's go white. I'm going to do a background color, or a border color rather, of yellow, because that should look pretty good on my top section here. All right, so there's the center of the page. So that pops pretty well. And you can still go back and you can bold that if you want to. You can change the font size. So here's my font type right here. Will impact, see how that looks. Ooh, that looks kind of tough to read. Georgia, that looks nice. Kind of center that up a little bit on my page. Okay, that looks good. A couple arrow keys down, make sure it doesn't fall off the page. And then when it comes time to add my different titles and subtitles, or sorry, section titles, and then my body, I'm going to go to Insert and Text Box. And I like to just type over here on the side, otherwise you run the risk of it populating in the center of a shape. And so I'm just going to go section 1, and maybe I want all of those to be in the Georgia font. No, since I did Georgia in the top, we'll do a different one for those other sections. Maybe I'll do Laura. And I want those to be maybe size 14, or let's go 16. And I can just move those around as I want to. Again, try to either center them or left align, whatever you think looks best. And if for whatever reason that doesn't show up on top, then you would just go to Arrange, Order, and then Bring to Front or Bring Forward. And that was that color. All right. Now for each of my boxes, maybe I wanted those to be a white background. Well, then I am just going to have them selected. Head right on up here with my fill color, change that to white. I can change my border color to that same yellow. I can change the weight of it to make it pop a little bit more. See how that looks? Not too great. Let's go thicker. 8. There we go. That differentiates itself right a bit. So maybe those guys are going to be the same. So I'm going to go with that yellow up to an 8 point, and I'm going to do a white fill for those 2 sections. And then maybe my smaller sections are going to be black with the white border. And then I'd have white text on those. So if I were to copy this and then just paste it anywhere. Okay, so there it is. And I want it to go on this one, this section. Then I'm just going to select all of that, change the color to white. Nope, that was wrong. I'm going to do Edit, Undo there. There we go. There's my font color right here. Yep, so learning process. Change that to white. And now I can see that I've got some info here. And if you want to add a sub box in here or something, so you could differentiate where items are within this box, you could do that. But when it comes time to insert images, you can just go to Insert Image up here at the top. And if there's one you need to upload, you can do that. If you have one in your drive, you can do that. By URL, you can do that. And I just want those to kind of complement what you're discussing. If you have a video, you can type in or paste the YouTube URL and embed that right in there as well. But in any case, you got quite a few options how you can differentiate the stuff, and feel free to manipulate. So maybe if you get to a point where you're not satisfied with the way it looks and you need to add another section in there, then just do that. You can copy and paste what you already have created. You can add in different shapes. If you wanted to do an arrow somewhere, or if you're talking about like the bright outlook and you just wanted to put a little sun in there, you can do that as well. And then you've got your shape fill right there. So a lot of different things you can do in Google Slides. So we're going to give you a lot of time to work on this. Make sure you're typing things in correctly using proper grammar. And that is going to be our infographic project.